Do you remember when you realized you found that deck? You know, the deck. The deck of which embodies why you started playing Magic. And the one that you're willing to spare no expense to make it look pretty. I remember when I found that deck. Which is what we're going to be talking about in today's episode of Back to Basics, blinging out your Commander deck. So let's start off with the first and most obvious. The Commander. The Commander is who the deck centers around and could not live without. The Commander is what makes the world go round. In this case, it is Tuvasa, the Sunlit. Everything about her is just perfect. However, what you can do to bling it out, for starters, is just go on Etsy and find a little custom-made proxy that you can use for it. In this case, I went to Joe's 3D Magic Shop, I believe is what he calls it. And I told him, hey, I see you got custom stuff. Could you do this for a Tuvasa? And he was like, sure. And the rest is history. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, that's not the Commander, hold on. To which I respond with, don't worry, I plan on getting the real Vasa signed. But that's beside the point. Back to the show. Now, you don't have to start off all crazy-like and buy the most expensive foils that you can when you start blinging it out. No. Start small. Start small with some foil basic lands from your favorite set. In this case, I really do love the Kamigawa block, so I just decided, hey, why not just pick up some foil basic lands and use those for the Vasa bling, right? And then after that, start picking up some foil commons and uncommons, you know? They don't have to be super expensive, like this one, probably like $2. You know, they're not super expensive, and they're just a good starting point to make everything all flashy. And then slowly work your way up. For example, just start, what I find is like picking up cards from standard sets are really good pickups. I believe these were all like less than 10, maybe 15 when I picked them up. Resurgent Belief especially, like it's a good card for enchantment decks. And the lands were probably the most expensive just because it's mana, the mana base. And here's where Secret Lair comes in. So the most expensive copies of Enchanted Evening and Mesa Enchantress are $30, I want to say, for the foil version with the exact same art. These are only $5, you know. It saves you a bit of money while also blinging out the deck. And it also doesn't have to be the most expensive copies, you know. This right here, only $12. Most expensive is $50. And then we're going to work our way up to the $25 and up dollar mark. Maybe 20. I can't remember how much some of these cards are. And then slowly but surely, again, just buying maybe 1-2 foils a week if you want to do that, or maybe once every 2 weeks. It doesn't matter, you know, just slowly but surely picking up, gradually picking up more expensive as we go. You're going to have to save up a bit more, but in the end, you know, if the shinies is what you like for this deck, you know, the shinies are what you do. You don't always have to get the most expensive copies of cards too, right? If you don't like the art, don't pick up the card, you know what I mean? Well, you don't have to pick up the most expensive copy of a card, you know? For instance, Mystic Remora. I absolutely hate the art on this card, but again, what you can do is pick up a proxy from Etsy, you know, a different kind of art from Etsy, and, you know, tis a lot cheaper, you know what I mean? Another example would be this Enlightened Tutor. Like, don't get me, like, the Judge promo is probably my favorite copy, but this one right here, I absolutely love for multiple reasons, and if you know why, you know why, and you are freaking awesome. Lastly, there's the mana base. This is where you're going to need to take some time. And the reason the mana base gets pretty wonky is because most of the time it's just lands, and everyone needs lands, you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be those, though. Like, this is ramp. This is a mana. These are mana dorks, and again, right here is where Secret Lairs again come in handy. The regular version of Bloom Tender, that's a foil, is over $200. This is, I believe, $40, maybe $50. And this is another card where the Secret Lair would have been the cheaper alternative, where this one right here, this version right here is about $50. The Secret Lair art didn't just speak to me personally, you know what I mean? Like I always say, pick up whichever art speaks to you. If it's a cheaper alternative, by all means, go with it. And then there's some really high dollar options. The OG Zendikar Expeditions, for instance, are probably, well, the Misty Rainforest is probably my favorite art for this version. And the Judge Promo Polluted Delta, which is also signed, is what really was the real selling point for me. I love signed cards, and personally, it was worth it for me. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do for really high dollar purchases like that, but I'm just going to tell you what I personally do. For cards that are over $100, I simply just put the money in an envelope somewhere and just hold off. Not to the point where I'm starving myself, but however much I can put in, you know? But that's all I got for today. Thank you for stopping by. Holler at me down below. What commander you'd like to bling out. Have a good one.